Craig, could you just introduce yourself first and foremost?
Hi, I'm Craig Scott and I'm the developer of iThoughts, the mind mapping app for iPads and iPhones.
So Craig, you've come here and you're going to be talking a little bit later around touchy-feely mind mapping.
Yeah.
For those who can't be here today, can you give us a quick summary of what that's going to look at?
I was going to talk very briefly about iThoughts and where I've sort of come from, and then talk a bit about what I see the key differences are with the tablet platform compared to the desktop and notepad platform, and why that's relevant to mind mapping.
One of the conversations we're having today, a lot of, is the idea of helping mapping to reach more people and possibly one day become a sort of mainstream tool. What sort of influence do you think that the tablet world and apps have had on that growth from your perspective?
I think it's going to help push towards mainstream. I think the fact that the tools now are cheap. iPad apps, mine's expensive at $9. So the tools are cheap. They are much easier to use, so they're less intimidating. And iPads are now, I think this year they reckon they're going to sell more iPads than they are notepads. So the number of people with access to this software is just going to go through the roof. Combine that with the fact that they're now giving iPads out to school kids and teaching them techniques like mind mapping at school. I think it can't help but push mind mapping into the mainstream.
So you've come to Biggerplate Unplugged in London, you're kind of going to speak. What's your experience of the conference been like so far, and sort of how have you found talking to some of the other people here today?
No, it's been great. It's been great. I've learned a lot actually. I've learned that I don't do mind mapping properly. It's been really good. It's been really good. So.
And what are you sort of hoping to get out of it in terms of what can you learn here? Do you think in terms of what you would take into your development plans for iThoughts in the future?
Just learning about how people use the tools and what they use them for and what they see as important. I tend to be a bit sort of isolated where I'm working, and I just get emails of just requests from people. So to hear people talk in more depth about how they do mind mapping and what they use it for, that's really valuable for me.
And we're going to be running a series of these events all over the place. And if you could sort of summarise or pitch to someone and say why they should come to an event like this, if you were going to say, what do you think people can get out of this, whether they're a developer or a user? What's the overall sort of benefit?
I think, as with all these types of conferences, I think it's making connections with people, speaking to people who and just sharing information, hooking up with people. That's I think with like-minded people. I guess that's the key benefit.
Well, Greg, we look forward to your presentation on touch-feely mind mapping, and thank you very much for.
Great, thank you.